The jungle of Runax 5 was quiet. Too quiet. Thick purple vines hung low over the muddy ground, and the air smelled sweet, almost like sugar. Birds with crystal wings chirped from glowing trees, but something was off. Private Marcus Reed, a human, scout soldier, pushed through the brush with a frown. He checked his wrist device. "We're too deep," he muttered. "This isn't our zone." Behind him, a strange sound echoed. Not footsteps, not breathing, buzzing. He turned fast. "Weapon, ready," he whispered, but nothing came, just air. Still. Then, from a large white cocoon hanging nearby, something cracked open and fell. A body. She wasn't human. She hit the ground hard, groaning. Marcus raised his blaster but froze. His heart skipped. It was a girl. An alien girl. Young-looking. Her smooth blue-gray skin shimmered like the surface of a calm lake. Her silver-white hair spilled around her like silk. And her body. Her curves were unlike anything Marcus had seen. She was unconscious. Barely breathing. She had strange red marks on her lower back. He knelt beside her. "Hey, can you hear me?" Her glowing golden eyes fluttered open slowly. The moment she saw Marcus, she gasped and tried to crawl away. "Human? You shouldn't be here." "I could say the same," Marcus replied. "Are you hurt?" She looked at him, panicked. "I was stung." "By what?" Her lips trembled. "The Queen's bee." Then her body twitched. Her hands clenched. Her back arched slightly, and then it started. Her lower half, it pulsed. Marcus's eyes widened. He both could see it. Her body was changing, but hours earlier. In orbit around Runax 5, a fragile peace treaty was being signed between humans and the Miari, an alien race known for their beauty, strict customs, and secretive biology. The agreement was supposed to avoid war, but something unexpected happened. During the diplomatic meeting, one of the human diplomats accidentally made a joke about bee queens. The Miari took offense. They believed bee queens were sacred, guardians of evolution, and the joke, it was considered a challenge. Within hours, talks fell apart. Ships pulled back. The Miari queen vanished. Rumors spread that she had unleashed something from her hive world deep in the jungle. That something was a punishment, and it stung one of her own kind. Now, back in the jungle, Marcus carried the alien girl on his back through the swampy terrain. She clung to him weakly, her voice trembling. "It's inside me. I can feel it moving." He didn't know what she meant, but her body was feverish, pulsing with strange heat. He tried not to stare, but it was hard to ignore the way her shape was shifting. "I need to get you to base," he said. "No," she snapped. "No one must see me like this. You're in pain." "I'm in transformation," she whispered, "and if anyone finds out, they'll destroy me." He stopped. "What do you mean?" "I was stung by the Queen's bee. It chooses a vessel when the Queen is angry. The sting changes the body, makes it more. More?" She turned her head toward him, eyes glowing. "More fertile, more appealing, more dangerous." Marcus swallowed. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Why would your queen do this to you?" "Because I spoke to a human," she said bitterly. "Because I laughed at a joke." Suddenly buzzing returned, louder. Marcus raised his blaster. "Something's coming." From the treetops, giant flying shadows zipped past. Glowing eyes blinked in the darkness. Dozens of them. Bees. Big ones. Not insects. Alien hunters. She marked me. "Now they're tracking me," the girl said, her breath short. "You should leave. Save yourself." Marcus shook his head. "No, I'm not leaving you." She looked at him again, and this time something soft entered her expression. "You're not like the others." Buzzing grew louder. Then, crash! One of the massive bees smashed into a tree behind them. Its body was black and gold, its stinger the size of a blade. Marcus fired. The bee screeched and dropped, but two more followed. He grabbed the alien girl and ran, through vines over fallen logs into a hollow cavern lit by glowing fungus. "Here," she gasped. "This is sacred Mayari ground. They won't follow here." She collapsed into the glowing moss. Marcus panted, then looked at her. Her body was still changing. Her curves had grown even more. "I feel strange," she whispered. "Like my body wants something. Needs something." He took a step back, unsure. "What exactly does the sting do to you?" he asked. She looked at him with half-lidded golden eyes. "You'll see," she said. "If you stay with me long enough." And the cave entrance shimmered, a sign they weren't alone anymore. Marcus kept his blaster pointed at the shimmering cave entrance. The buzzing had stopped for now, but his instincts told him it wasn't over. The alien girl lay curled in the soft moss, glowing softly in the dim, bioluminescent light. Her long white hair flowed across the floor like liquid moonlight. And her body, he couldn't stop noticing, was different now. Fuller, rounder. Her hips had swelled even more in the last hour. Her back arched now and then like her body was reacting to something invisible. She opened her eyes. "You stayed." "I'm not leaving you alone," Marcus said firmly. "You're not safe." Her eyes shimmered. "I'm not safe for you, either." He ignored that. "What is this place? You said they won't follow here." "This is an old Mayari hive, long abandoned, but its energy still lingers. The bees won't cross it." She placed a hand over her chest. "But the sting, it's waking something inside me." He knelt beside her. "You mean, it's still growing?" She nodded slowly, clearly afraid. "My body is adapting. The venom is forcing it to change. To evolve." "Into what?" She didn't answer. Her breathing quickened. Her skin glowed faintly, and strange patterns appeared along her legs and hips, like natural tattoos, curling in golden lines. She suddenly gripped his arm tightly. "You need to listen. There's more you must know." Marcus looked into her eyes. "Then talk. We don't have time." Flashback. The Queen's sting. She was once a guard, a young female warrior assigned to protect the Mayari Queen's royal chambers. Her name was Sira. She followed all the rules, until the day she heard humans speaking through an ambassador device. Their voices, their jokes. Something about them made her curious. She laughed at one human's ridiculous joke. One of the bees heard her and reported her. The Queen summoned her that night. Said nothing. Just released the royal stinger. It flew straight to her back. Stung her with golden venom. From that moment, her body started to change. Punishment. Or transformation. She didn't know. But it wasn't random. It had a purpose. Back to present, Marcus sat quietly, trying to understand. "So this venom," he asked slowly, "is it trying to turn you into one of them?" "No," Sira whispered. "It's worse. It's making me into something that can control them." Marcus blinked. "You mean, like a new queen?" Her lips trembled. "Yes, but I'm not ready. I don't want this. The Mayari queens are chosen at birth. I was never meant to rule." He stood and paced. "Why would the current queen do that to you?" "She's paranoid. She sees threats everywhere. I was just curious about your kind. And now she thinks I'm dangerous." Marcus rubbed his jaw. "So she's trying to turn you into a weapon, or something she can later crush." Sira nodded. A pulse of golden light passed over her skin. Her back arched again, and she cried out in pain. He rushed to her side. "It's the venom," she gasped. "It's spreading faster now." Marcus checked her pulse. Her body temperature was rising. "You need medical help," he said. "No." She grabbed his shirt. "If you take me back to your people, they'll see what I'm becoming. They'll treat me like a threat, just like the Mayari would." He hesitated. She had a point. She looked at him, eyes full of something raw and vulnerable. "You're the only one who's seen me like this and hasn't run away." Marcus felt his heart beat faster. He didn't know what to say. Suddenly, boom. The cave shook. Something outside had slammed into the shield. "Not good," Marcus muttered. That sounded bigger than a bee. Syrah's eyes widened. The Queen sent a guardian. It doesn't care about sacred ground. The buzzing returned, louder now, deep and angry. Marcus stood, cocked his blaster. "Stay behind me." But Syrah grabbed his arm. "You can't kill it, only I can stop it if I let the venom complete the transformation." He turned sharply. "You said you didn't want that." "I don't, but I also don't want you to die." Marcus stared at her. Syrah's lips parted. "If I become what the venom wants, I'll be able to command every bee on this planet. And what happens to you? I don't know." For a long moment they said nothing. Then the cave wall cracked. Glowing red eyes peered through. The guardian had found them, buzzing like thunder. Marcus aimed. Syrah stood, barefoot, trembling, but glowing now with golden light. Her curves were almost surreal, as if the venom had restructured her to be perfect in form, fertility, and authority. "I can feel them," she whispered. "They're waiting for a queen." Marcus didn't lower his weapon. "You don't have to do this," but she stepped forward, lifted her hand, and the guardian froze. Its wings fluttered. It bowed. She gasped. It worked. Marcus's mouth fell open. Syrah turned to him, glowing, fierce, and suddenly powerful. "I think I'm not just a new queen, Marcus. I think I'm the only one now." The old queen had passed the curse, or maybe the crown. The guardian bee stood completely still, wings folded, eyes glowing red like twin suns. It didn't attack. It didn't buzz. It bowed. Marcus couldn't believe what he was seeing. Just seconds ago, the creature had shattered rock and charged like a monster. Now it kneeled in front of Syrah like she was royalty. Syrah's body glowed with faint golden light. Her back was arched, her breathing controlled. But her expression was unreadable. Part fear, part wonder. I commanded it," she whispered. "I didn't mean to. I just thought," and it obeyed. Marcus slowly lowered his weapon, eyes still on the guardian. "It's like they recognize you. You're one of them now." Syrah turned to him, trembling. "No, Marcus. I'm not one of them. I'm above them." Her body shimmered with each breath, and her hips looked even fuller now, more womanly, shaped like a fertility statue. The swelling hadn't stopped. It was part of her transformation. Her lower body was becoming queen-like. Marcus blinked and turned away. "You're changing fast." Syrah sat down against the glowing cave wall, holding her head. "It's happening too soon. I was supposed to go through years of training. A queen isn't just about biology. She must know how to lead a hive. And now the venom is forcing it in hours." Suddenly the guardian shifted its massive body and clicked its mandibles. "They're waiting," Syrah whispered. "More are coming." Marcus stood alert. "Enemies?" She shook her head. "No, workers, drones. The hive is calling to me." Meanwhile, on the edge of the jungle, at the human forward base, alarms were sounding. Captain Mora stared at the hologram of the jungle where Marcus had vanished. "He's gone dark for 12 hours, the tech officer reported. "Last ping came from Sector 6G. Wasn't that the forbidden zone?" Mora frowned. "The Mayari warned us not to go there." "Correct. And now that whole region is glowing." Mora looked at the red pulse on the screen. "Prepare a search team, and keep your weapons hot." Back inside the hive cave, Syrah stood slowly, her feet sinking into the soft moss floor. She looked different, taller, more commanding, glowing, with strange power. Her alien curves now held weight and grace like a true queen. Marcus stepped closer. "You okay?" She nodded. I know what I have to do. Suddenly from the cave walls, buzzing erupted. Dozens of glowing bees crawled out from hidden holes. Small workers, colorful drones, even strange flying scouts. All of them surrounded her and bowed. Marcus instinctively raised his weapon. Again. Sira touched his arm. Don't. They're mine now. What happens if you reject the role? He asked, watching the swarm closely. She looked away. Then the venom destroys me from the inside. The swelling. It doesn't stop. It bursts. Marcus blinked. That's why your body keeps growing? Yes, she whispered. It's building something inside me, a chemical crown. If I resist too long, it kills me. Marcus clenched his fists. Then you have to accept it. I'm trying. The guardian bee stepped forward and dropped something at her feet, a glowing amber orb. Sira gasped. That's the hive core. Marcus tilted his head. Hive core? She knelt down, lifting the glowing object. Every queen links to it. It's like a key. Once I connect, I become the true ruler. And then, I'll have full controls and no way back. She turned to Marcus slowly. If I do this, I won't be the same, Sira whispered. My body, my mind, even my thoughts, all of it will change. I might not even feel human emotions anymore. Marcus stepped closer. But you're not human. No, she smiled softly. But you made me feel like one. The air between them was thick. The buzzing quieted. Even the drone seemed to wait. Marcus touched her hand. Then let's do this together. Sira blinked. Together? I won't let you face it alone, he said. If the old queen forced this on you, we'll make something better out of it. She stared at him a long moment, then nodded. She raised the hive core to her chest and pressed it to her skin. Golden light exploded the transformation. Her body lifted into the air, eyes glowing brighter than suns. Her long white hair floated like a halo. Her arms stretched wide as energy flowed into her. The drones all bowed low, their wings folded. Marcus shielded his eyes. When the light dimmed, she stood transformed. Sira's body had matured completely. She looked regal, fierce, beautiful beyond belief. Her hips now radiated with glowing golden markings, symbols of authority and fertility. A glowing crown of light hovered above her head. Her voice came deeper, smoother. It is done, she said, her voice echoing through the cave. The bees cheered with loud buzzing, but Marcus wasn't smiling. Sira looked at him, but there was distance in her eyes. Marcus, she said slowly. I feel different, like something's missing. He stepped forward. You still remember me? She stared and blinked. Yes, she whispered. You're important. He smiled. That's enough. But then behind him came a sudden crackling sound. A human search drone hovered into the cave, scanning the area. Red light flashed. Human life form detected. Unknown alien life form detected. Threat level, extreme. Uh-oh. Marcus stepped in, front of Sira protectively. Don't move. But it was too late. The drone had already reported everything to the base. The buzzing of the bees faded into silence. All eyes turned to the hovering human drone. Its red sensors blinked as it scanned Sira's glowing body, her transformed curves, her golden hive tattoos, and the floating crown of energy above her head. Marcus cursed under his breath. It saw too much. The drone beeped sharply. Species not registered. Hive type royal class detected. Threat level extreme. Initiating report upload. No, Marcus growled. It's transmitting to the human command center. Sira tilted her head. Should I destroy it? Marcus hesitated. If you do, they'll send more. The drone's panel flashed. Uploading data to base. 72% complete. Sira raised one glowing hand. golden energy flickering at her fingertips. No. Marcus grabbed her wrist. If you hurt it, they'll think you attacked first. I am a queen now, Marcus, she said softly. If they come for me, it won't be a war, it'll be extinction. Marcus turned to the drone. There's got to be another way. Too late. Upload complete. The drone blinked once, then flew away, fast. Syrah's shoulders fell. They'll come, with fire. Human Command Center, 27 minutes later. The uploaded images shocked everyone. Captain Mora stood with a cold face as the footage replayed. The drone had captured Marcus standing beside a glowing alien queen with huge expanded hips and a swarm of bees around her. She's not Miari anymore, Mora muttered. She's something new. Something dangerous. She looks female, possibly a hive matriarch, said the intel officer. And Marcus is protecting her, Mora said sharply. That means he's compromised. The room fell silent. Deploy. A hunter team, Mora ordered. And mark the girl as a Class A target. Back in the jungle cave, Syrah sat quietly on the moss floor. The golden light around her was dimmer now, but her form remained changed. Her thighs pressed against the ground as she leaned forward. The curves on her lower half were too full now, almost heavy with energy. Marcus sat near her. So, how much time do we have? Syrah looked down. A few hours, maybe, before your people find this place. And the bees? They listen to me now. They will defend me if needed. But they don't understand your kind. They only know survival. Marcus sighed. Then I'll have to talk for both of us. Syrah studied him with glowing eyes. Why are you still here, Marcus? He looked at her. You think I'm going to run just because your butt started glowing and the bees bowed to you? She chuckled softly. It's more than glowing. I noticed, he said quickly, then cleared his throat. Not in a weird way, just hard not to notice. Her cheeks warmed and the gold in her veins pulsed. The venom enhances everything. Beauty, fertility, influence. He blinked. Fertility? Syrah looked away shyly. That's what queens are made for. To rule, to spread, to carry the future. The silence between them stretched long. Marcus finally spoke. I won't let them hurt you, no matter what you've become. Suddenly, a loud crackle echoed outside. Syrah's head snapped toward the entrance. They're here. From the jungle. Shadows, dark-armored soldiers marched forward. Human recon troops. Stealth armor, laser rifles, EMP launchers. 6 men. All ready for war. Marcus stepped forward. Don't fire, Lieutenant Marcus, barked the team leader. Step away. From the alien now. She's not attacking, she's not your enemy. The soldiers didn't lower their weapons. She is a transforming hive entity. The leader growled. That makes her a planetary threat. Syrah stood behind Marcus, glowing softly. She's not invading anything, Marcus yelled. The Queen of the Miari did this to her. She's a victim. She's leading a swarm, the soldier countered. That's invasion enough. Just then the guardian bee appeared from behind a tree, massive, silent, standing between Syrah and the soldiers. The recon team raised their weapons higher. Hold your fire, Marcus shouted again. Too late. Zzz-thoom! A nervous soldier fired an EMP grenade. It hit the guardian directly. Syrah screamed. The guardian dropped. Buzzing exploded across the sky. The swarm was coming. The hive awakens. Hundreds of bees poured from the jungle canopy. Shimmering gold, black, red, and deep blue. They swarmed above the soldiers, forming spirals in the sky. Syrah stepped forward, glowing brighter now, her voice strong. Enough! The bees froze in the air. Even the soldiers paused. I don't want war, she said, her voice echoing across the clearing. But if you force me, I will become everything the old queen feared. I will become the future. The team leader raised his wrist. Command, do we engage? Static. Then a voice. Do not engage. New orders incoming. Everyone froze. Then something unexpected happened. Another ship descended from the clouds. It wasn't human. It was Mayari. And at its front ramp stood the old Mayari queen herself. Sira's eyes widened. That can't be. The sleek, curved Mayari vessel hovered just above the jungle canopy. Its smooth silver surface reflected the gold of the evening sun. Hissing steam burst from its underwings as it gently landed, its ramp lowering to the forest floor. Out of the ship stepped tall Mayari warriors in shimmering red-gold armor, and between them walked her, the old queen, elegant, tall, and terrifying. Her eyes burned with pale fire. Her body shimmered with control and venom. Her robe flowed behind her like living shadow. Sira took a step back. She wasn't supposed to come here. She sent the sting. Why would she face me now? Marcus stepped beside her, eyes locked on the new arrival. Because she's afraid you might be stronger. Sira didn't answer. The old queen raised one hand. Her voice echoed like music dipped in poison. You should have died from the sting, Sira. It was meant to silence you, not raise you. Sira's hands clenched at her sides. You didn't expect the venom to choose me, did you? The queen's lips curled. You were always weak, curious, contaminated by human thoughts. Marcus narrowed his eyes. Contaminated? Because she saw us as more than animals? The queen ignored him. She's more than you now, he growled. The queen's gaze sharpened. Then let's see if she can prove it. A royal challenge. Sira felt the bees around her buzzing with tension. The hive could feel both queens now. Two minds calling them, two thrones humming in conflict. The venom gave you a spark, the old queen said coldly. But I am the flame. I never wanted this, Sira shouted back. But I won't let you control me anymore. Golden light flickered from her body. The queen stepped forward, her voice heavy with power. Then by the laws of the hive, we settle this the old way. Sira froze. You want a queen's challenge? Marcus looked between them. What's that? The queen smiled darkly. A duel. No weapons, no soldiers, just venom and will. If I win, Sira asked, you take my crown, the queen said, and my hive. And if I lose, you die. Slowly, as the venom inside you eats itself apart. Marcus grabbed her arm. You don't have to do this. We'll run. There are other planets. Sira looked at him sadly. They'll chase me everywhere. The bees will follow. I'll never be free unless I win. He didn't like it, but he understood. She stepped forward. I accept. The duel begins in the center of the clearing. The two queens circled one another. Drones, soldiers, and human troops watched from the edges. No one dared interrupt. The sky dimmed. Sira's hips glowed, golden marks pulsing like a heartbeat. Her eyes burned like twin suns. Her legs moved with grace, but there was tension in every step. The queen's body shimmered, sleek and deadly like a serpent ready to strike. Suddenly, strike. The queen lunged with shocking speed. Sira dodged left, twisting midair, and sent a wave of golden mist toward her. The queen countered with a venomous roar, sending a blast of energy that cracked the ground. Marcus shielded his face from the force. The trees bent. The bees screamed. But neither queen backed down. Sira spun, her body shining now like molten light. Her curves shifted as she moved, the venom boosting her every reflex. Her form was no longer just beauty. It was power. She released a pulse. Boom! It hit the queen square in the chest, blasting her back into the mud. The hive gasped. The queen snarled, crawling to her feet. You think curves make a queen? Sira stood tall. No, compassion does. She launched forward and slammed her palms into the queen's chest, pouring golden light into her. The queen shrieked. The venom inside her cracked. Sira screamed as well, the energy tearing through both of them like lightning. And then, Silence. Smoke. The aftershock. Marcus ran toward the clearing. The bees hovered, confused. The Miari soldiers lowered their heads, and in the center, Sira stood. The old queen lay at her feet, frozen, her crown shattered into pieces of crystal ash. Marcus caught Sira just as she collapsed. He held her in his arms. "You did it." She looked up weakly, smiling. "I feel light. Like something heavy inside me is gone." The bees landed around her, bowing. A new queen had been chosen. But her victory came with a cost. Her body glowed too brightly, too fast. "She's overloading," said one of the Miari healers. "She wasn't supposed to take the full hive core so soon." "What do we do?" Marcus asked. The healer looked at him grimly. "Only one thing. The queen must bond." Marcus blinked. "Bond?" Sira opened her eyes slowly, barely conscious. "Marcus," she whispered. "It has to be you." Sira lay limp in Marcus's arms, her breath shallow, her golden skin dimming. Her glowing markings flickered like a dying flame. Her curvy form trembled, as if the venom inside her was too much to hold. The Miari healer stepped forward quickly. "She's burning out. The hive core is unstable, without balance." Marcus gripped her tighter. "What does that mean?" "She needs to bond," the healer said. "Physically, spiritually. It's the only way to stabilize her new form." Marcus blinked. "You mean?" The healer nodded. "A queen must have a mate. The venom craves connection. Without it, her body will tear itself apart from the energy she absorbed." Sira's eyes fluttered. "I didn't want to force this on you." Marcus looked down at her glowing form, her curves pulsing faintly with golden light, her body growing warmer against his chest. "You're not forcing anything. I choose this." She weakly smiled. The Miari guards backed away, forming a circle around them. The bees hummed in harmony. "The ritual is ancient," the healer whispered. "It doesn't need full mating, but a bond of touch, will, and emotion. He must give her his energy." Marcus knelt, placing Sira gently on a soft, mossy patch. "What do I do?" "Hold her. Breathe with her. Give her your heartbeat." Marcus nodded and leaned close. The connection. Their eyes met. Marcus reached out and placed his hand on her cheek. Her skin was hot, almost too hot, but he didn't pull back. "I've got you," he whispered. "You're not alone." Her arms slowly reached up and wrapped around his waist. Her fingers trembled as they held onto his shirt like she was afraid to let go. He placed his forehead to hers, and everything changed. Flash. Golden energy surged through their bodies. Marcus's heart pounded like a drum. He felt something flow from him, something invisible but powerful. Sira gasped. Her body arched. The golden markings on her skin flared to life, her hips, thighs, and spine glowing like sacred fire. The swelling reached its peak, then steadied, like it finally belonged. "I can feel you," she whispered. "I'm here," he said back. "I'm not afraid anymore." The hive reacts all around them. The bees hummed louder, no longer chaotic, but joyful. The guardian bee, still injured, limped forward and bowed deeply before them. The bond was complete. Marcus sat back, panting, still holding her hand. Sira opened her eyes fully, clear, golden, steady. The madness in her expression was gone. She was glowing, beautiful, and completely in control. "You stabilized me," she said, her voice soft but firm. "You grounded yourself," Marcus replied. "I just helped." She sat up, and the swarm knelt. A new queen had risen, not of control, but of choice, but peace doesn't last long. From the sky, another shape descended. Not Miari, not human, something else. A sharp black ship, unmarked, angular, covered in spikes, pierced through the clouds and hovered over the jungle like a predator bird. The buzzing stopped. The bees froze. Sira's face turned serious. "That's not one of ours." Marcus stood up. "What is it?" A loud voice echoed from the ship's speakers, robotic, cold and sharp. To the new queen of the hive. Surrender your crown or be eradicated. Your genetic shift violates intergalactic protocol. Sierra's eyes narrowed. I don't recognize that language. But they know what I've become. The ship opened a hatch. A giant mechanical drone dropped down. Its arms spun, its sensors glowing red. It scanned the bees. Then Marcus, then Sierra. New hive queen. Detected. Level 5. Mutation. Confirmed. Terminate before spread. Marcus stepped in front of her again. I just helped her live. You're not taking her. The drone's red light locked on his face. Human male. Bonded. Host. Compromised. Eliminate first. Sierra suddenly stood, glowing like a sun. Her voice sharper than ever. No. The ground cracked beneath her feet. The bees rose in a spiral. The Guardian let out a monstrous roar. Sierra lifted her hands. Energy. Forming between her fingers, Marcus looked at her in awe. What are you doing? I'm not just a queen now, she said, golden fire in her eyes. I'm their future, and I'll fight for it. The black war drone hovered above the jungle floor, scanning targets with deadly precision. Its weapons spun to life, red lasers humming, spikes unfolding from its limbs. Target, human male, threat level, support. Host, eliminate immediately. Marcus didn't flinch. He stood firm between the drone and Sierra. Behind him, the alien queen glowed like a star. Her body pulsed with energy. Her golden hive markings burned like ancient fire. And her once soft curves now carried power, beauty forged into strength. The guardian bee beside her buzzed deeply, its wings rising again despite injuries. The smaller bees formed a living shield around her. Sierra stepped forward, her voice thunderous. Leave him alone, I'm the one you came for. The drone didn't respond with words. It opened fire. Zizate! Zap! A laser shot toward Marcus. Boom! It never reached him. The guardian bee leapt in front, taking the hit. It crashed to the ground. Smoking, no! Sierra screamed. The drone re-aimed. Marcus raised his blaster, firing shot after shot, but the drone's armor deflected every blast like rain. Sierra raised her hand, and everything stopped. The bees around her lifted into the air. Hundreds, maybe. Thousands, forming rings of buzzing light. Sierra's voice echoed with power no one had ever heard before. This is my hive. These are my people, and I choose to defend them. The sky turned gold. The bees flew in formation, not randomly, not wildly. They moved like a weapon. Sierra raised both hands. The golden light from her skin reached into the swarm, and the bees responded. Marcus stepped back in awe. She's controlling them like one mind. The Miari soldiers watching from the jungle gasped. Even the human recon team lowered their rifles. They had never seen anything like it. Sierra pointed to the drone. Destroy it. The swarm obeyed. The sky thundered with wings as the bees struck the black drone in waves, piercing its armor, tearing its limbs apart, jamming its weapons with their bodies. The drone spun violently, trying to fight back. Boom. It exploded mid-air, sending shards flying. The bees scattered, then regrouped in perfect formation. Silence returned. The aftermath, Sierra slowly walked to the fallen guardian bee. Its shell was cracked, its breathing weak. She knelt beside it, placing her glowing hand on its head. Golden light flowed into it. It twitched, then stilled. The glow faded. It's gone, she whispered. Marcus walked up behind her. It saved my life. It gave its life. For its queen, she said softly. She stood facing both the human soldiers and the Miari troops. You've seen what I've become. Now I ask, will you still treat me like a threat? Captain Mora, who had just arrived with reinforcements, stepped forward. She stared at Sierra for a long moment, then said quietly, You didn't attack. You defended. Mora turned to her men. Lower your weapons. The Mayari commander followed. She has passed the trial. The old queen is gone. We will recognize her as sovereign. The bees buzzed in agreement. Later, at the recovered base, the human camp had turned peaceful. Bees flew calmly like trained guardians. The jungle was quiet once more. Sira stood near the edge of the camp watching the horizon. Her new form was stable now. The venom no longer surged. The swelling had balanced. Her body still held the queenly figure, shapely, glowing, curvy, but her presence was calm. Marcus walked up beside her. So, what now? She looked at him with a small smile. Now, I rebuild the hive. A new kind. One that doesn't fear humans. He chuckled. You sure the bees will be okay with that? She leaned into him slightly. They trust who I trust. And I trust you. He looked down at her hand. It gently glowed, connected to him somehow. Ever since the bonding. You? No, he said playfully. You're still technically a fertility queen. She laughed. Don't get any ideas, human. He grinned. Too late. They stood in silence for a moment. Alien queen and human soldier, bonded by accident, joined by choice. But far in space, in a dark chamber above a blood-red world, multiple glowing eyes watched a hologram of Sira on the screen. One voice hissed metallic and cruel. A rogue queen has emerged, with human DNA in her aura. This cannot be allowed, another voice responded. Then prepare the hive eaters. We purge this infestation before it spreads. The screen blinked. New enemies were coming. The jungle had never felt so calm. Golden. Bees danced gently through the air. Soldiers, both Mayari and human, walked side by side through the makeshift camp, now more like a peace zone than a war camp. But in the center of it all stood Sira. Her presence had changed everything. She no longer needed to command. Her aura alone spoke louder than words, graceful, glowing, and powerful. The golden markings on her curvy alien body pulsed slowly with the rhythm of the hive, no longer wild but perfectly stable. Marcus watched her from a distance, arms crossed, admiring her strength. She had come so far, from being a punished outcast to a crowned queen. And yet, something felt wrong. Sira turned, sensing his thoughts. You feel it too? He nodded. Yeah, like, the quiet is too quiet. She looked toward the sky. Something's moving out there. Watching. Above orbit, the stars above Runax 5 shifted slightly, too precise to be natural. Inside a camouflaged alien dreadnought, strange beings with no mouths and 6 glowing eyes studied Sira's every move through a dark screen. A voice came from the walls, not spoken but transmitted through thought waves. She has bonded with a human. She carries hybrid energy. Her swarm hums with change. Another voice responded, activate the hive eaters. Let no queen spread such impurity. At the peace camp, the buzzing of bees suddenly halted. Sira stood up straight, eyes glowing brighter. Marcus jumped to his feet. What is it? She whispered. Something's coming. Not from the jungle, from the stars. Before she could say more, a massive boom echoed from above. The sky split open, a giant black tear opened in the atmosphere. A drop pod fell from the heavens, slamming into the earth with a deafening roar. Everyone ran to the impact zone. Smoke filled the air. When it cleared, a creature stepped out, 10 feet tall, covered in metallic spikes. Not bee, not alien, but something else. It turned its head slowly, then locked its glowing eyes on Sira. Target identified. Hive Queen. Status: contaminated. Order: eliminate. The first hive eater. The creature lunged, its steps cracked the ground with each movement. Faster than a tank, stronger than a giant. The hive eater's long claws shimmered with toxic silver light, made to kill queens. Back, Marcus shouted. Sira raised her hands. The bees moved in unison to defend her, hundreds of them forming a golden shield. But the hive eater spun and released a sound wave. Bzz, crack! The swarm scattered midair, confused and in pain. It's disrupting the hive link, Sira gasped. I can't control them. Marcus fired his blaster, but the hive eater swatted the shots away like dust. The Mayari warriors charged, but two were struck down instantly. Sira's eyes narrowed. Enough. A Queen's Wrath golden fire poured from her veins. Her body lifted into the air. Her curves shimmered with power. Glowing symbols along her legs, hips, and arms burned brighter than ever. She placed one glowing hand on the ground. Boom, golden vines erupted from beneath the soil, alive, burning with hive energy. They wrapped around the hive eater, binding its arms and legs, but the creature roared and broke through them. Marcus, Sira said, turning to him with fear. I need more strength. I can't beat it alone. He didn't hesitate. He ran to her and grabbed her hand. Golden energy surged again between them, like when they bonded the first time. This time it was stronger. The bees returned, like they felt his trust in her, and the hive swarmed once more. Unity wins together. Sira and Marcus lifted into the air. She screamed, unleashing a sonic blast of golden hive force. The bees spiraled at her command, glowing now with new strength. The hive eater charged one last time, and the swarm struck like a meteor. Boom! When the smoke cleared, only pieces of the hive eater remained, burnt, broken. The ground itself trembled. Sira dropped to her knees, panting. Marcus rushed to her side, holding her. It's over, he said. But she shook her head. That was just one. Marcus froze. You mean? She looked into his eyes, glowing with worry. There are more. Hundreds, maybe thousands. They're coming for me, for us. Final message, a hologram appeared in the air above them, projected from the destroyed hive eater's core. A cold voice played. To the new queen of the golden swarm, you have 30 rotations to surrender your crown. After that, the hive eaters will descend, and all bonded humans will be classified as carriers. Prepare for purging. The message ended. Sira and Marcus stood in silence. And then Sira whispered, We're not running, Marcus. He nodded. Then we prepare. The countdown had begun. 30 rotations. That's all they had before the hive eaters returned, with full force. The peace camp turned into a fortress. Humans and Mayari worked side by side. Drones patrolled the trees. Watchtowers were built with alien tech. Energy shields were installed around the jungle base. And in the center of it all stood Sira. She no longer walked with fear. She stood tall, her curvy royal form cloaked in a shimmering golden robe. Her markings now pulsed steadily, not from chaos but purpose. Her hips, once a symbol of uncontrollable venom swelling, had now become a badge of queenhood. But her eyes held worry, because she knew the next wave wouldn't be like the first. Inside the command tent, Marcus stared at the map projection. The hive eaters were gathering across 4 systems. They were machines created long ago by an ancient race, programmed to erase any unstable hives. They didn't care who ruled, or why. They're not coming to negotiate, Marcus said. They're coming to wipe her off the map, Captain. Mora nodded grimly. And they'll kill anyone bonded to her, including you. Marcus looked down at the glowing mark on his hand. It had appeared during the bonding ritual, an echo of Sira's energy. It tied him to her forever. She's worth fighting for, he said. Meanwhile, in the sacred hive, Sira knelt before a deep glowing pool. The old hive spirits whispered beneath the surface. Queens of the past, some cruel, some wise, trapped in memory. She whispered to them, I know I wasn't chosen the old way, but I was chosen. I've changed. I've grown. I won't let the swarm be hunted for something they never asked for. The golden pool shimmered. A vision appeared. A hive-eater fleet. Descending, worlds burning. Sira stood up, her mind clear. Then I'll rewrite what it means to be a queen. Training begins. Marcus, once just a scout, was now training alongside warriors from 5 different species. He could no longer rely on just human tactics. He sparred with winged Miari duelists. He dodged drone bombs from hoverbots. And he let Syrah's bees sting him just once to build immunity. It hurt like fire, but it worked. I'm impressed, Syrah said, watching from the shadows. You always watching me? He teased. You're bonded to me, she said with a small smile. I feel you, always. They shared a quiet moment, but the horizon behind them was no longer calm. Dark clouds gathered, unnatural, spinning with metal and death. The first wave begins. Early boom, sirens screamed. Everyone ran to their posts. They're here, a human officer shouted. The hive eaters jumped early. They didn't wait for the full countdown. 3 pods dropped from the sky, fast, black, and steaming. Each one opened. Out crawled upgraded hive eaters, taller, meaner. Their claws glowed with acidic energy. Their eyes locked directly onto Syrah's location, even from miles away. They're locked on her DNA, Marcus yelled. Fall back to the core hive, Mora shouted. Syrah stood at the edge of the camp. The bees gathered around her like living armor. She didn't move. Let them come. The battle of Swarmfall, the jungle burned. Hive eaters tore through, defense towers. Miari warriors fought fiercely, but the machines adapted fast. Lasers did little. Swords broke. Then the hive answered. The bees descended, thousands of them. Syrah stood atop a hill, arms stretched wide, golden energy spilling from her like sunfire. Her hips pulsed with the strength of generations. Her crown of light returned brighter than ever. Her voice roared like thunder. Protect what is ours. The bees formed spears, shields, waves of piercing energy. They swarmed the hive eaters, in perfect formation. Marcus ran through the battlefield, blasting targets, directing human squads, shouting, "Follow her lead." Together, they held the line. But then, a new pod dropped, bigger, heavier. It didn't open. Instead, it unfolded. Hive Eater Queen Killer, the ultimate weapon, 10 limbs, 4 heads, a reactor pulsing in its chest. It scanned Syrah instantly. Target confirmed. Primary Hive Queen. Begin eradication. The sky turned red. Syrah collapses the moment the Queen Killer stepped forward. Syrah's legs gave out. She gasped and fell to her knees. Her markings blinked rapidly. Marcus rushed to her side. "What's wrong?" "The bond," she gasped. "It's being attacked from inside." He grabbed her hands. "Stay with me." The Queen Killer released a strange pulse, a psychic virus. It wasn't just killing bees. It was trying to break the bond between Syrah and Marcus. "I won't let you go," he whispered. "Not now." Syrah's body trembled. She knelt in the burning jungle, her golden markings flickering like dying stars. The air around her was thick with smoke and fire. Her bees, her loyal swarm, buzzed in confusion, no longer in perfect sync. Something was wrong. The Queen Killer's psychic pulse had shattered her connection to the hive. Worse, it had attacked the bond between her and Marcus. I can't feel them," she gasped, her voice barely a whisper. Marcus gripped her hand, kneeling beside her. "I'm right here." Her eyes glowed weakly. "No, not you. The hive, my children. They're fading." The Queen Killer advanced, stomping through the trees like a monster from a nightmare. Its 4 heads spun in different directions, scanning, targeting, tracking. Bond integrity severing. Hive pulse crashing. Subject collapse imminent. Marcus turned toward it, fury in his eyes. "You're not taking her." He pulled her close. "Syrah, you said the hive listens to your emotions, right?" "Yes," she whispered. "Then listen to me," Marcus said, voice shaking. "I love you." Syrah's eyes widened. Marcus pressed his forehead to hers. You're not alone. Not now. Not ever. The bond reawakens, a soft golden spark lit between their hands. Then, boom! A surge of light shot out from Sierra's body. Her markings returned, brighter, burning, alive. Her curves pulsed with new energy, her hips glowing golden like they were holding the power of 1,000 bees. Her back arched and she screamed, not in pain, but in command. The queen had risen again. The psychic virus shattered. The swarm felt her again, and they answered. Final attack. Sierra stood slowly, rising like a goddess from the ashes. Her golden aura spread across the battlefield. The bees rushed to her side once again in perfect harmony. The queen killer paused, its sensors flickering. Then, for the first time, it stepped back. Too late. Sierra pointed forward. This ends now. The bees split into formations, spirals, blades, and hammers of glowing energy. Marcus raised his weapon. Let's finish this. They charged together. The final sting, the queen killer. Fired everything it had. Lasers, sonic pulses, acid rounds, but Sierra was faster. Her hive moved like her limbs. Her energy cracked the sky. She dashed forward, lifted by the swarm, and drove her hand into the reactor core on its chest. For my hive. For our future. For love. She released a final burst of queen venom. Boom! The queen killer exploded in a storm of gold and black. The blast echoed across the jungle. When the smoke cleared, Sierra floated down slowly, glowing, alive. Marcus caught her in his arms. She smiled. That was the final sting. 1 week later. Peace returned, the Zaya. Hive eaters retreated, their signal was gone. Without the queen killer's control unit, they scattered into the void. The human alliance recognized Sierra as the sovereign queen of the Golden Hive. She and Marcus were invited to speak before the Galactic Council, but they didn't go. Instead, they stayed on Runax 5. In a rebuilt hive temple made of glowing honeystone and moss, they walked side by side, queen and bondmate. You still glowing? Marcus teased, brushing her golden mark. She laughed. A little, comes with the hips, remember? He grinned. Yeah, that sting may have saved the galaxy. She leaned into him. That sting gave me you. Final line. And so, a punished girl stung by fate became a queen who changed everything, because one human didn't run away when her body started to change. He stayed. He believed. And together, they saved more than a hive. They saved hope.